Mac Miller had a very long career, dropping his first mixtape in 2007 and his last album while he was alive in 2018. Throughout his career, he's mentioned songs, albums, and collaborations that have never come to fruition. Couple that with secret releases and alter egos, Mac Miller has accumulated quite a bit of lost, unreleased, and unknown music. He stated before that he has thousands of songs that he just sits on. So join me today as we look into the lost songs of Mac Miller.
Dude, I'm always sitting on like 9 projects, for real. There's like, so, cause it takes me like 5 or 6 albums to get to the album I want to put out.
That's crazy.
I want to clarify that I'm using the term lost loosely. A lot of the songs that I'm going to be talking about have either been leaked or scrapped, but there's no doubt that Mac has a ton of lost music. And a quick disclaimer, I don't want to encourage the spreading of leaks at all. Edan, a close friend and producer of Mac Miller's, said that leaks are ruining potential future releases, and I would hate for leaks to be the reason that we don't get any more future releases, but I do understand why people want to listen to unreleased music. Also, take everything I say in this video with a grain of salt, because when dealing with lost albums and songs and stuff like that, a lot of the information can be a little foggy. Anyways, let's hop into it. So one of the most interesting and well-known projects that Mac had in the works is a project called Pink Slime. It was a collab album with Pharrell that was teased for a while but eventually scrapped. Mac began teasing the album around late 2011. He also said that they had around 10 to 11 tracks on the project. They released 2 singles from the album, On a Roll and Glow. There was also a few different release dates that were pushed back for different reasons. Finally, it was pushed back because Mac wanted to focus on his album watching movies with the sound off, and probably eventually scrapped it since it didn't really fit the sound of the direction he was moving in. The lost songs include a song called Coffee Table that Mac had tweeted about, and a song called Flying High, which may sound familiar. The reason it sounds familiar is because apparently that beat was given to Travis Scott and used on his album Rodeo for the song Flying High. There is a snippet out there with Mac's verse on it.
This big slime right here. They never heard it. Have y'all heard this? Y'all heard this? Pink slime, pink slime. Her head gang, that's A1. She give me brains while I play dumb. She deep throw like she a pro. My nut bust like a ray gun.
It's also confirmed that Styles P was supposed to be on the album, but the rest of the songs were lost except for the song Dreams, which was leaked. Your Shoes Are Untied is a project that we know about because of a screenshot from Mac's TV show, Mac Miller and the Most Dope Family. The screenshot has Mac's computer with his iTunes open, with a bunch of different projects listed in his playlist, one of them being Your Shoes Are Untied. He also hinted at it once in his Instagram bio. Supposedly, it was a collaborative project between himself and Bad Bad Not Good. The project was also in the works between 2012 and 2013. Fans are only aware of 3 songs that have leaked, but don't have any other information about the album. The Adventures of Superweirdo was another project that was listed on Mac's computer. Similar to Your Shoes Are Untied, we don't really know anything about this project other than 3 leaks. They are assumed to be intended for this project because of their lyrics, production, names, and stuff like that. The rest of the tracks for this project are either unknown or lost. It's possible that these 2 albums were never even recorded or never finished, but we're not sure. Balloonerism is another well-known and very interesting project that Mac Miller had in the works. It was apparently recorded around the same time as Faces and has similar themes, but was even darker. The cover art that I showed was from an artist that Mac Miller commissioned. The entirety of the track list has been leaked by users on leaking websites. Not much else is known about the album other than the tracks being leaked. It was likely recorded in the Sanctuary, with the song Colors and Shapes being on the track list, which was later moved to Faces. It's also known that Mac's brother registered a website domain called Balloonerism.com back in 2014. There's a really good video about it from JEJD71, so check that out if you want to learn more. Between 2014 and 2017, Mac Miller and Madlib were working on a project called Maclib. This project was very much so real and was first mentioned by a friend and producer of Mac Miller's by the name of Thelonious Martin. Thelonious said in an interview that Madlib confirmed the album to him personally. He says, "So I'm opening for Madlib, and about 15-20 minutes left in my set, Madlib pulls up. Pete Rock walks up as well. So I'm trying to focus and DJ, and Madlib gets on, and 15 minutes into his set, he just randomly plays a Mac Miller joint. And I turn to him, I'm like, there's more of these, right? He said, oh yeah, there's a whole album. Maclib. Madlib has also played a few snippets of some songs during his live DJ sets.
She was a debutante, now she work a restaurant. Fuck a bitch, let him watch. Think she the one, cause I met her at a record shop.
He played one track at a show on July 12th of 2019, and another featuring Thundercat on March 17th of 2019. Neither of the tracks have titles as far as we're aware. There are also 2 more tracks that have leaked snippets. Thundercat also says that he was there when the album was recorded and that it blew his mind away. We do not know of any other tracks, and Madlib has since said that there are no official plans to release the album. In an interview, Thelonious Martin said that Swimming was originally going to be called Guidelines. He also produced the title track for said album and released it as a single, which was the last song that Mac Miller had released before he died. Because of this statement, it's assumed that Guidelines was just turned into Swimming. But some fans think that Guidelines was a standalone project, although that isn't entirely likely. There's a few snippets that were recorded around the same time that Swimming was. The song Hawaii and Mac Miller $1 were apparently listed for sale on a leaked website, and the song Lovebirds was mentioned by one of Mac Miller's photographers. Other than that, we don't know any other songs, but that's all the information we have on Guidelines. Metro Boomin and Mac Miller had planned on making a collaborative project to drop alongside The Divine Feminine as some sort of double album, but it was scrapped and only the song Real was leaked. There's also another version of the song Real featuring Lil Uzi Vert. The rest of the unnamed project remains lost, and we aren't sure how much of it was even recorded, although it was most definitely in the works, as Mac Miller stated in an interview.
I had this joint that I did with Metro Boomin that's like some real, some hard stuff.
Yeah,
because I was working on those two simultaneously. There was a love album and there was a really hard album that I was going to release as a double album.
Ooh.
It was going to be a one-person speaker box, Love Below, but I decided to focus a little more.
There are also tons and tons and tons of leaked throwaways from different album eras. Mac has also mentioned that him and Thundercat have thousands of unreleased songs. He also apparently recorded a bunch of music with Rick Rubin when he went to stay with him. The point is that Mac has a ton of music that he's mentioned the existence of, but he's never given any information about the songs, leaving fans in the dark. The things I touched on in this video are just scratching the surface. Edan, who I mentioned earlier in the video, says that Mac Miller has so much unreleased music. He stated that when he was staying at the Sanctuary, he recorded tons of songs with a ton of artists, some of which ended up on Faces and watching movies. But there's still so much, entire projects, says Edan. So hopefully someday Mac's estate will compile some of the lost songs or release some of the lost projects, and hopefully the constant leaks don't get in the way of that. Let me know in the comments below which lost songs or projects you guys want to hear most. Again, like I said, I'm just scratching the surface. He has tons of other things he's mentioned briefly in interviews. These are just the things we know the most about, and as you can tell, we don't know a ton. If you guys like this video, you might like my video on Tyler the Creator's lost album Wolf 2010. Supposedly it's his darkest album ever and is very interesting, so make sure to check that out. Other than that, this has been Matty Balls. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, let's hop into it.